See anything?
There's nothing over here. We gotta find those deer.
Hey guys, Caleb Andes with the Process Outdoors. TPO team member Matt Kingsley and myself literally just got back from a do-it-yourself public land mule deer hunt in Nebraska. Nebraska is a great state to go out of state to. Their tags are over the counter and they're actually pretty cheap compared to some of the other out-of-state tags. So we spent pretty much most of the summer planning through Onyx and scoping out different public lands on our computer, on our phones, sharing back and forth with the hopes, the dreams that we could possibly come across some bucks. And to say the least, if you've never been on a public land hunt out of state with a buddy, you got to give it a shot. We had an absolute blast, and we were fortunate enough to get on bucks the very first morning, and the fun didn't stop from there. Even though there's a little heartbreak mixed in, which you'll see here in a few, we had a blast, and we can't wait to do it again. Check it out. Welcome to our humble home away from home.
Nebraska. 100%.
You think that's all right?
Yeah. No terminators can break that. I mean, it's a piece of rope.
Looks like a double knot though.
Oh, yeah. Nice double, triple overhand. All right. That won't break. Well, we will make sure that we lock that up. Then I was trying to button I thought the lid was on, and I was trying to button the little cap on, and it just straight up tipped over.
Process Outdoors, Nebraska 2020 Wildlife Expedition. We have a mule deer doe and stupid turkey birds.
Oh, she's turning broadside. I just want to take her. Dude, you're gonna get shove them behind me.
Stupid thing.
Boing, boing, boing.
Look at her. Donkey, donkey, donkey. I don't know where they're going, but that was a big deer. And then, what are there, 20 of them in that group?
Probably 10, 15.
Do you have eyes on them still? Where'd they go?
Behind that hillside.
All right.
You gotta get. You're a mess. Put your arrows in your quiver. All right. So like 10 minutes into first light, you see the sun behind me. We spotted a group of about 10 muleys, and from the road, you can see one of them is a freaking giant. So we're gonna stalk along this corn here, right on the edge of public. We're thinking they're working their way to the corn to go feed. It's about 36 degrees out right now. So we're gonna hustle and get in front of them. The one on the left is the biggest one.
Are they all bucks?
Could be.
Maybe 3 small bucks.
So we're stalking these bucks and we're creeping through along a fence line, and right on the other side of public is a velvet buck bedded. So we're gonna end up going back to the truck and working around some of the bigger boys, but we're gonna see if we can't get this guy to stand up. Throw a rock at him. Should be interesting. You ready? Terrible throw. It's bad, real bad. Hand bad. Yeah, hand me that big one. Sissy arm throw. I feel like I'm making more movement throwing a rock than I am. Are you ready? Yep. I say draw now. No. Before I throw. He didn't do anything. Good chunk one. Ready? Yep. He saw it. He's looking like down the fence. Try again. Yeah. I think there's more than one. I think, oh. Still felt it. I can't zoom my cameras. Oh, dude, man, look to the right. Yep. Look at him looking at us. Oh, that's big, dude. Get ready. Oh. Told you. What'd I tell you? That there was more in that bachelor group, and it wasn't just a Lone Ranger. Dude, they're still enveloped, I think. I don't think that big one was. No. If he was like that gray velvet. Yeah. Alright, hang on. This is what worries me, though. Watch it. All right, update. We're back at the truck. We finally caught up with those bucks. Saw that one, bedded down. We decided to sneak up and essentially see what he was and spook him, see if they weren't gonna pop onto private. They were bedded, or public. They were bedded for the day. It seemed like we got up there and about 4 other bucks stood up. So they ended up sprinting over the hill after a couple of the bigger bucks that we saw. So we're gonna go ahead and get in the truck and see if we can't loop around on them and figure out where they're bedding and put a better stock on them. We kind of made the decision to do that and back out based off of the fact that we want to get in front of them or stalk them in their beds in better terrain than kind of chase them around, because we're never going to catch up with them. They're always going to have the advantage on us. So we're going to get back in the truck and loop around this big chunk of public and see if we can't find them.
You got your camera? No.
Yes.
Where is it?
In my pack.
All right. We are on the bucks. First morning. Boom, boom, boom. There's tracks all over this road. Like, look how big these tracks are. See that? Mule deer dig holes like that, and they eat the ants.
We're never going to shoot a buck.
You see him? Do you see him? You think he worked left?
I think he's either coming right at us or he worked left that way.
Yeah.
What do you think?
Well, we got this
Grass
tall.
there.
Yeah.
Let's get in the tall grass. We'll split the difference on him.
Okay, you leave your pack. I'm bringing my bow.
see him by the fence. He's looking the other way. Stand up a little bit. He's right.
I can see the little one that's like licking the fence.
Look down in the middle.
Does he have his head down?
No, it's up.
I can only see the little two.
Look to the left.
Yeah, is he way down there?
He's right in the middle down there.
Yeah, I can't. Like, I can just barely see his back. Did the big one jump yet?
Yeah. He's about to, though. Here he comes. Get ready. Here he goes.
Was that him?
Yeah.
Caleb, they are working our way. No, that's just a straight up fork. And then. Oh, he's.
Alright, let's go get my bag. After they get over here, was that like
Yeah, definitely have to sprint to that corner post when bowling starts.
Okay.
Breakfast of champions at lunchtime. So, lunch of champions.
Making some roadside PB&Js, triple deckers for maximum power. Matt hates crunchy, so naturally I got crunchy. He's a minimalist on these trips, so I think he'll be all right. He's got to grow a little bit. So during lunch, we obviously talked about our plan over some nice PB&Js that first day, and decided to drive around, see if we couldn't spot any more bucks, but obviously everything was either in the crops, which we come to learn is pretty prevalent this time of year. The corn and the milo bean still standing out there, and it was midday, so everything was pretty much bedded down. So we decided to go back to the spot that we saw the bucks this morning, from the road, and see if we couldn't see them in their bed. We were still skeptical that we saw the biggest buck in the group, so we thought we saw a giant from the road that we didn't end up spooking when we saw the bucks that we swooped around on the south side for. So we were in search of him, and so we snuck around to a little corner of the public that has private on both borders to see if the bucks weren't going to do the same thing that they obviously did the night before on that first night that we were there.
Eating deer. We'll try to kill deer. That's good stuff. Give me an interview. Don't see that much in Iowa anymore. Sitting here waiting for these mule deer to stand up and let us know what they're going to do. They're either going to come right at us, hopefully, or they're going to cut across this hayfield back behind the camera this way. If they do that, if they make a move towards that, we are just going to hightail it as fast as we can and try and get ahead of them so that they can't catch our wind, and we will either get them or hopefully slip out of here without busting them. These pheasant are just going crazy, and it's nuts because the mule deer don't care at all. They're all just bedded down in this CRP grass. Don't give a care in the world. It's how tall that one is, and you can't even see them in here. They just disappear. It's insane. Standing next to him. Nope. That's him, dude.
That's him. Oh my gosh, what a giant.
His fork has 3. His left fork has 3.
Oh.
He's got more. What is on? Thought I heard a bleed or something.
So, unfortunately, me saying on footage, we need to go now, is pretty much the last clip that we got that day. So I'll break it down for you what happened. Essentially, we duck walked and belly crawled and ran about 450 yards to try and get ahead of these bucks. They came out of the field, out of their bedding. They were going to catch our wind, so we had to run on public to get ahead of them. And sure enough, they ended up jumping the fence to go onto public that they jumped the morning to get off of public. Kind of in the same pattern. We learned through a bunch of people talking through them that the muleys this time of year are highly patternable, and it takes a lot to really spook them. So Matt and I were set up in different areas. I pulled my phone out to videotape Matt drawn back on the one that we saw footage of earlier that was still in full velvet of the double forks at 35 yards. And right when I pulled my phone out, the bigger one hopped the fence about 60 yards from me. So I threw my camera down on the ground and got my release on my string. And right when Matt shot, I drew back on the bigger guy who was at about 65, 70 yards at that point. I ended up shooting low, and come to find out after I shot, I realized that Matt had shot high as well. He ended up picking the wrong pin in his sight. And to say the least, we were absolutely devastated. There was no footage taken after those shots, but as the trip went on, we ended up having a great time. We got on and we saw some other good bucks, and nothing just really kind of came together to us. We had probably more laughs than I've had in a long time. I remember telling Matt that I don't remember the last time I laughed so hard my belly hurt, but that definitely happened on this trip. Getting out in the wilderness, even for a quick 3-day hunt, some place like Nebraska with a great friend and common interest was exactly what I needed. And I think that we'll be back very soon to Nebraska to seek vengeance for these muleys. It was an absolute blast. And if anyone has the opportunity to grab a buddy and go on an out-of-state hunt, stay in a hotel, shoot, stay in your truck, just get out there, make it happen, and you will not regret it. This is something that I think we're going to be doing for year over year, and I think we're only going to be more successful. We learned a ton just talking to people and living through our experiences on this trip, and I don't think we would have made a move any different on any of the deer beyond picking the right pin. And we never really gave up on those bucks. We kept checking in on them, and finally the morning we were leaving, we ended up getting back on them.
All right, we moved in on the last morning, all the way to where it all started, and Caleb spotted a buck trotting kind of towards us. Not sure if he would have cut up through the hay and got onto private already, or if he's going to follow this fence line. They jumped the fence pretty close to where we are right now. Got kind of tucked into some brush. We're probably pretty exposed, actually, but the sun's behind us, so we're just going to do what we can. There's the doe. Or no, it's still... Holy crap. Somehow we did it. We located the big buck. I had Caleb. He was going to loop around the fence, try and get in front of that little one that came out that we had. And I looked at the corn, and we're calling him Mr. Big. We got Mr. Big and Mr. Tall. That's right, folks. We named these mule deer. The first morning, they hopped the fence down where Caleb's going to go, and then they work this way. So if they do anything, we need them to cross the fence. No rule breaking here. I'm going to try and get some footage of him. Two big mule deer, folks. One for sure.
Folks, TPO followers, people on YouTube who possibly just found us. Little public service announcement. When you're out west, lip balm of some sort. Take it, use it, find it, use it again. It is dry out here. That's good stuff.
Oh my god.